My name is Justin, I'm 21 years old, and this is my Tesla Model 3. So, I got this car about 3 weeks ago now. For those of you that don't know me, actually, I run an e-commerce marketing agency. I've been doing so for the last 2 years. And essentially, I've gotten this car as it was my dream car. So, I had actually set the goal and had my phone wallpaper. I've actually posted that on Instagram. So, editor, if you just want to throw that on screen right now. I had this wallpaper actually on October 7th, to be exact, in 2020. Set that as my wallpaper because I wanted to get that exact car right here. Then about 6 months or so later, I had already started the agency at that point and test drove a Model Y. So not the Model 3, but a Model Y. Nonetheless, was my first experience driving the Tesla. And now here we are about a year and a half later since I test drove the car with my own. So as you can see from the outside, this actually is the base Model 3, so nothing too crazy. What I love about the car though is the paint. I always dreamt of having a black matte car. This is actually satin finish, so it's not exactly matte. So the original paint color on the car is the black metallic from Tesla themselves. And there's a paint protection film on top of it that adds this effect to the paint. There's a chrome delete on the emblems in the front and the back, which makes it look even that much better. We'll also show you the back in a second because there's also been a wrap on the taillights to put a bit of a tint on there. Now, if I actually show you a little bit more about the insides of the car. So let me actually open the door right here and kind of sit down, but you actually sit pretty low inside of the car. It's the white leather interior. Honestly, you know, you've probably, even if you're watching this video, you've probably seen a Tesla before. Just love how minimalistic this is. So there's not a lot, in front of it. It does take a little bit of time to get used to dash right here, but as you see the kilometers and stuff right here, it's not that bad, honestly. It's right near the top left corner of the screen, so pretty close. Nonetheless, that's about it. I was actually pretty delighted to learn that there's like a wireless charger right here. And yeah, that's the interior. Also love the sunroof. It's actually a panoramic roof. So it's like the full roof is fully glass. So there's no, it doesn't open up, but you can still see through it. So it looks amazing. And if I show you actually just a little bit in the back too. So basically you'll get to see, there's not much going on right here, but that's, the back of the car right there. And if we go through the back of the car, actually, you'll see what I meant earlier. So the taillights are actually tinted, so adds a bit of a darker effect. The emblem also on the back is chrome deleted, so it's black to match with the car itself. Everything's pretty good about the car. Teslas are known to have somewhat of a problem with gaps in the panels. There's only one gap in the car that I've noticed when I got it, which was this one right here. So there's a small gap right there, but that's about it. I've heard horror stories online. To me, it's not that bad. It's a small gap right here. And if I hadn't said anything, I don't know if that many of you guys would have noticed by now. So one of the reasons why I'm actually recording this video today is to talk about the progress I've made so far. So one of the things, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is that this was my dream car. I kid you not, years ago, I was seeing Elon, the announcements of the first Teslas. I've always been a tech guy. I worked at Apple for 2 years. I was one of the first to get, the new phones. I've just loved tech in general. To get that car means a lot to me. And also to have made it this fast is pretty crazy in my mind. Just 2 years ago, I would have never thought that 2 years later, I would have had that car. Again, it was as a phone wallpaper. And when you put something as a wallpaper, it becomes somewhat unattainable to some extent because you put that on a pedestal. It becomes a bit of a dream, so meaning that you're not really at a level where it would make sense for you to get it right now. But through one of my mentors, one thing that I learned was he had this thing called the SBA worksheet. Anybody else who actually follows that mentor would know what I'm talking about right here. It's a See, Believe, Achieve worksheet. I've still been using that to this day. Even 2 years later, I update it almost every 2 to 3 months because, I attain some of these goals, so I want to make sure that I keep aiming for something higher. But the goal of that sheet is to set essentially a mental image of things that you want to achieve. So what I mean by that is that you set yourself pictures of what an ideal life would look like. And a lot of it is materialistic, but here's the thing. I think I first started with the business having set some goals, which was one of them, again, was getting this car. afterwards I pivoted to setting money goals. And I feel like when I pivoted to setting money goals, I kind of started going off track because I was actually going after the money and not the thing. And when you go after the thing, the money for it comes with it. So it's like, if you go after a car, if you go after a house, if you go after a vacation or whatever, you'll be able to put a price tag on that. And just going after this thing will lead it eventually to you getting enough money to get that thing. So nonetheless, not a money lesson or whatever. I'm no guru by any means. Just wanted to share, I'm a kid who got his dream car. I am really happy. I could have waited to get that car. I could have also gotten it a little earlier. I feel like this is just the perfect time. Got it a little bit before the winter time, so I've got a couple of weeks to enjoy it before it gets really cold. It's actually pretty cold right now at the time of recording this video, but I've delayed gratification for so long. The only kind of nice thing I had since started making a little bit more money was my apartment, which honestly I'm very grateful for. It gives me a nice environment to work in, to think, to create, etc. But that car was one of the first real gifts I've actually given to myself. And it may not be justified in terms of a financial expense, but to me, just the sheer pleasure of driving it, I usually don't do more than 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers a year in terms of driving. Just in the last 3 weeks alone, I did over 1,000 kilometers. So I've been enjoying the shit out of the car. It's honestly been so fun driving it around. And yeah, again, just wanted to kind of show you the car. I've called it the Batmobile because looking at it, that's kind of what it looks like to me. A black matte car. It makes me think of my, inner child, Batman and stuff. But that's it. I'm just a nerd who started an agency, got his dream car. Wanted to share that with you as some form of inspiration and also as a journal entry to myself, in the future down the line when I get something else, when I make, again, new businesses, whatever that might be, I'll be able to look back at this and think, hey, this was a nice moment. So that's it. Thank you for watching this video. And if you're watching this, you want some e-commerce tips, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, make sure to click on the link in the description down below and join our free Facebook group. We post on there almost every single day. And if you're watching this, you're an e-commerce store or brand owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I also invite you to check out the description below and book in a very short demo call with our team. So on that note, check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.